Since the Dali's journey was cut short, the ship has been stuck right there underneath the wreckage of the Key Bridge, and so has the 23-man crew.
Now, to maintain the integrity of the NTSB's investigation, they can't get off that ship. WMER 2 News' Elizabeth Worthington found out today how they're faring so far. Elizabeth?
Yeah, Kay, Kelly. So we spoke to the executive director of the Apostleship of the Seas today. They're a Catholic ministry and outreach group for seafarers, and he says they're doing about as well as you could expect right now, but they're just stuck on that ship, and they're not sure how long they're going to be stuck on that ship with massive cranes lifting 210 pieces of metal and concrete and steel right above them. So the Governor Moore said today during his press conference that the part of the ship that's been most impacted by the wreckage is not near where the living quarters or the kitchens are. So they're safe right now. They're just stranded. In the days leading up to their departure from the Port of Baltimore, the crew of the ill-fated Dali did what many crews do before a lengthy voyage. They reached out to the Apostleship of the Sea, a Catholic organization that often helps sailors stock up on things like food and hygiene items.
Monday, I was actually the driver that took them out. So as soon as I heard about the collision and the incident, my first thought was, I was just with those guys yesterday.
He also had a direct line of communication with them. Executive Director Andrew Middleton has been working nonstop this past week to get supplies out to the 23 people stuck on the Dali, sending those supplies out on the salvage team's boats.
To remind them that we're here for them and try to find out what their needs are now and then what they possibly could be, in the future as the days go by and they're sitting out in the river.
The Dali crew was expecting to be at sea for about a month, so they do have a lot of food and water. But the 7 ships still stranded north of the bridge were at varying points in their journey and therefore have varying needs. But Middleton and his team are able to reach those crews directly and are even planning to bring some of them to land for a day trip.
Our idea going forward is to come up with creative ways to provide them with recreational activities that can get them off of the vessel for a few hours and entertain them. I've already have one trip to Washington, D.C. scheduled.
Middleton says going forward, the main thing they're going to need is just things to occupy their time and their minds. And if you have anything you're willing to donate, either financially or items, you can do so through the Archdiocese of Baltimore. That is the organization that oversees the Apostleship of the Seas. And we have a link to their information on our website, WMAR2news.com.
And Elizabeth, do these crew members have any idea how long they're going to be stuck out there?
No, we don't know. They don't know. There has been no timeline given to us by the governor, by the Secretary of Transportation. They just say they're not prepared to say how long this is going to take. But all indications point to this taking at least a matter of weeks, likely longer than the 28 days those crew members were anticipating being on board the ship. Governor Moore did also say during his press conference today that when it comes to the variables for moving the Dali out, there are more unknowns than there are knowns.